I enjoy your fleece.
Does it say 1-8?
It says established 1918.
Okay, let's
We're doing Beethoven Symphony 3.
Okay, good. All right. I see. I like your plan. I like that you had a plan and there was some logic to it. Careful when the initial switch to 3 on the syncopation was a little unclear because 1 wasn't just down. 1 was a little.
I felt that too. Like, instead of kind of on auto drive, it went to 4 for a second. Kind of. I was gonna do
I see
that.
what you're saying. Yeah. But I'd like to see it again now that you've got another run through and you're a little more comfortable with it. Be a little more comfortable with it. Unless Jacob has a comment.
I have a question. I understand for the syncopation going in 3, but then you went back to 1 and then back into 3 for a second time. I don't know if it was just not practiced or.
The 3 for the syncopation was for clarity to help out the syncopation, but I went back into 1 because I still wanted felt.
Right, but then you also went back into 3 after.
Because then it gets into 8th notes, and not that I'm trusting as musicians, but I wanted a bit more just clarity, making sure that all lines up.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Do it again. Take another shot. Okay, watch the video and tap along. There's a little discrepancy with the time. Your first 2 measures, if I remember correctly, were an established tempo, and then when it went into 1, it was actually a little faster.
Okay.
And then the second time you went into 1, it was a little faster. It tended to pick up a little bit more. So just everything has to, anytime you flip between 1 and 3 or something like that, any kind of augmented meter and small meter, it has to be impeccable with the timing. So just be careful with that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Jenna?
I really liked your intent for the first 2 measures. I thought it was very interesting. You didn't necessarily simplify everything. One thing that I think that would just be kind of more interesting for me if I was a player to see is more facial expression, because I saw you doing it, but it wasn't, I guess, what I think would be enough for those notes. So
Okay.
maybe just do a little bit more there so that you can have more of a contrast between forte and a piano part.
I have 2 comments. One, along with the first 2, kind of reminded me back to the story that you told me of Huey. The only way to conduct Symphony Number 5. And then, what I'm talking about. And then,
Did he say that? Is that
yeah.
what Huey said?
Well, Huey said he had a teacher. The only way to conduct the opening motif to Symphony Number 5 is only much more drawn out.
I see it in your symphony.
Yes. And then the second thing is, the first time that you conducted, I understand waiting for everybody to be ready, but I wouldn't have the hand up to be ready, just arms down at the side so everybody's ready, and then bring it up so everybody's focused.
That was more of a rehearsal thing. Just, I'm ready to stop talking, but it wasn't that wasn't a conducting thing. So I tried to not do that the second time because I kind of felt it too.
First of all, really well done. I can tell you spent a lot of time thinking about how you want to go about conducting this concert. At the beginning, it's a little bit difficult for me personally to find the pulse. It was a very sudden movement, which, I understand you wanted the note short. It was just hard for me to find the pulse until like the 3rd measure or so.
I get where you're coming from switching 1 and 3 and 1 and 3. But maybe make it a little bit easier on yourself the second time that you switch from, so you go from 3 to 1 to 3, but the 1 is only from one bar. So just a suggestion to make it easier on yourself, just
Keeping it 3 or keeping it 1?
keep it, just switch to 3 and then it's
And
one
then
bar.
keeping it 3, okay. Okay. You did a really nice job.
Thank you.
Really nice job. I like the music. Very good.
Proud of you.
Yeah, just watch the video and watch the time and the clarity.
Okay.
Switching from 1 to 3. One can be one of the most difficult things. We think it's easy, it's just one, but you watch. If you move too quick, 1, 2, 3, 1, then it tends to speed up and those sorts of things. So it's actually, I think.